I'm Orestria, a goth girl in Japan, and we're going to do a seasonal preview for spring 2023. The winter season's a little over half finished, and when that happens, I like to go to Anichart and look at what's coming up next. This time, I'm going to show you that moment, and I'm going to think about whether I am excited for upcoming shows, watching it out of the obligation, or distressed that I'm going to be watching it. Full disclosure, I recorded this once before and then decided to completely change the format of how I was recording it. So here we are. We start very strong with a new season of Kimetsu no Yaiba. Very excited for that. Despite what I think are a lot of flaws that the show has, it doesn't fail to entertain. Also excited for a new season of Dr. Stone. They're going on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm excited. Jigo Kuraku. I'm not familiar with the source manga, but it's being animated by MAPPA. It sounds very action heavy. I'm hoping it might skew a little Death Game-ish, because the idea of a bunch of convicts fighting it out on an island, you know, some of them are going to be crazy people willing to kill the other convicts to get ahead, right? So, kind of hoping for a little bit of chaos there. The poster seems to actually depict multiple female characters, which is also, sadly, unique enough to be something to be excited about still in this year, 2023. Oshi no Ko, the poster looks like an idol show, and I don't watch idol shows, but you'll notice the tags are drama and mystery. The little plot synopsis blurb is bonkers. Like, a doctor delivers a baby and then is killed and is reincarnated into the baby. So just for the sheer wildness of what was written there, I would say I'm leaning towards excited. Tonikaku kawaii. I dropped the first season of this and forgot that it existed, and when I tried recording this the first time, I actually had to go to my anime list to see if I had watched the first season. Kono subarashii sekai ni bakuen o. It's magical school, which already lowers my excitement a lot. At least we have, like, a feminine main character instead of your wish fulfillment main character dude. But, I mean, it sounds like it does have potential, so I'm not completely distressed that I have to watch it. But I'm not holding out a lot of hope. Mashuru, I'm just feeling kind of meh about this one. It definitely has potential, and this one guy looks kind of like Reno from Final Fantasy VII. So that's something. I just don't know. Everyone's good at magic, but the main character is special because he's not good at magic. Or, you know, everyone has superpowers except for the main character who doesn't have superpowers, except he actually has the nullification like, Isekai o Smartphone to Tomo ni, second season. I don't think I watched the first season of this. Good lord, I'm glad I didn't, cause an isekai harem about a smartphone? Whee! Kimi wa Houkako Insomnia. This one is weird, because, like, it's a high school slice-of-life romance show, but that poster, like, this poster looks way more, like, dramatic or, like, a thriller or something. Literally, their meet cute is, like, finding a place to sleep at school because they have insomnia. I wouldn't go, like, fully, I don't want to watch this, but I'm not excited at all. Mahou Tsukai no Yome Season 2. I haven't watched Season 1. I want to. It's on my list. Just, you know, the list is huge. Oh-sama Ranking Yuki no Takarapako. I didn't watch it. It's just one of those art styles that makes me sincerely not want to watch it all. I know that I've definitely seen some other anime reviewers really like it, so if you're less bothered by the idea of watching, like, a baby do action stuff, then you can check it out. Yamada-kun to level 999 no koi o suru. So we have what appears to be another high school romance show. It doesn't actually say romance on the tag there, but, like, the whole point is that the girl's interested in him, so I'm pretty sure it's a rom-com. I will say, I like the idea that the interest stems from them having a similar hobby. Although, the part where, like, she's about to quit the game she played because she played with her boyfriend, like, that could go one of two ways, right? Either it's become painful to play because of all the memories, which would be fine, or she only played it for the guy, which is awkward. But I mean, Madhouse, like, again, I'm not bummed out that I'm going to be watching it, but Kuma 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 Bear Punch, I dropped the first season of that. Isekai de cheat skill o te ni shita ore wa genjitsu sekai o mosu suru level up wa jinsei o kaeta. I do not want to watch this. The fact that they felt like they had to put isekai and cheat skill and level up in the title, like, oh, what are some isekai words we can give to make people want to try our isekai? Like, oh, Lord. I mean, of course, I could be wrong, it could be great, but just from this, like, looking at the book's cover situation, no. Eden Zero's second season, I dropped the first season. It's by the same person who made Fairy Tail, which I also dropped, but not quite as fast. Kanojo ga koushakute ni itta ryu. So recently there have been a lot of, like, otome game shows where someone from our world gets put into the world of a girl's romance game, but they're not usually in the main character's position, they're in, like, the main female rival position, who is called the villainess, and then, like, in most of those games, the villainess dies, apparently, so they have to, like, prevent themselves from dying. And this is basically that version, except she's going into a novel and being put into the position of, like, a background character. So, yeah, I would say I'm not super excited, although I have liked more than a few of the otome games, so I could be into it. Otonari ni Ginga. The main thing that is interesting to me about this rom-com is that it's not a fucking high school or a magical high school or any of that shit. It's, like, an adult with kids. So that is definitely a more interesting point of view to be coming from, especially because I'm getting further and further away from high school with each passing day, you know what I mean? But, like, this poster isn't screaming out, like, oh my god, we're gonna love this. We're in that middle ground where, it could go either way. Boku no Kokoro no Yabai Yatsu. So this is a high school rom-com, and we seem to have the relatively standard, like, the main boy is an unpopular loner, and the girl is the class idol. What's supposed to make it stand out is that the boy, like, is fascinated by murder and macabre things, and you'd think as a goth person I'd be like, oh cool, cause, like, I've got, like, skeletons, not real ones, I've got, like, skeletons around my house and stuff, and, like, I've been known to watch some true crime. But I'm really concerned by the line where it says he daydreams of acting out his twisted fantasies on his unsuspecting classmates. That's not something that sounds like it belongs in a rom-com. That sounds like a start of a horror show. So I would say that I am not looking forward to this one at all. My Home Hero does sound interesting. Once again, just not being about high school kids makes it really interesting. This is a, like, action thriller type show, but it's also about a family. So, yeah, it just gives them a different point of view than what we usually get in anime, so that adds a little bit of interest to me. Skip to Lofa, a high school rom-com with a small town girl going to Tokyo. The poster looks charming enough. I'm just not inherently going to be interested in a high school rom-com unless there's something about it that specifically calls out to me. Because how many of them are coming out this season? How many of them came out in winter? Like, there's always at least 3 or 4. Kidou Senshi Gundam Suisei no Majo Season 2. I dropped Season 1. Some of my friends who stuck it out and watched all of Season 1 said the finale of Season 1 made it feel like stuff was finally gonna happen. So if you're really into Gundam, and you're willing to sit through that much to get to the possible start of the good shit, then this could be for you. I'm starting to wonder if I ever really liked Gundam. I need to watch Turne. Tengoku Daimakyo. This is the kind of show that has, like, so much potential. You know, that's an interesting eye-catching poster. They're talking about, like, being raised by robots in the future in a safe place, but the outside world is a hellscape, and, like, but it's also, like, adventure mystery, and I'm really worried that it's... A lot of this type of mystery show makes me worried that it's gonna be, like, Lost. You have to wonder if they're actually going somewhere, or if they're just gonna keep adding weird shit on weird shit, and at some point you're gonna realize that they never had a plan. And I'm not saying that is the case with this show, because I'm not familiar with the source manga, but I'm just saying I don't have faith. Watashi no Yuri wa oshigoto desu. I'm definitely interested to watch this. I have concerns. You can see them wearing uniforms, but they're not school students. They're waitresses pretending to be school students. Watashi no Yuri wa oshigoto desu. Like, I could be reading that wrong, especially because that's Romaji and not kanji, but, like, is this a cafe where they're pretending to be lesbians? I both see potential for me to really like this, and potential for it to be a glorious disaster that I end up watching to make fun of, or for it just to be terrible. I have no idea. Isekai Shokan wa Nidome desu is about a guy who gets isekai'd, and then gets isekai'd. And possibly then gets isekai'd? I don't know. There's a lot going on in that plot synopsis. It says adventure comedy. I'm just looking at a poster, which is nothing but a bunch of girls surrounding this boring-looking dude. This looks like terrible. I am not excited for this one. This looks real bad. Still gonna watch it, because that's what I do, but no, not excited. Okay. Yusha ga Shinda. I'm weirdly excited for this one, because go ahead and read this plot synopsis. This is some wild shit. This takes place in one of those worlds where there's a demon king and the hero is supposed to kill the demon king. But then it goes off the rails because our main character is not the hero, and then our main character accidentally kills the hero, and then is like a hero's on. Sounds wild. I don't know if it will actually live up to the expectations in my brain, but I'm somewhat excited to watch this. Dead Mount Death Play. This is another one of those shows that I feel could go absolutely either way. Like, I think this is a pretty dynamic and cool poster. The name screams Try Hard Grimdark. If it can keep up an attitude that keeps up with this poster, then I think it's looking good. And I'm halfway just judging shows by their posters right now. Just as an example, this is a poster that screams, oh no. And this is a poster that screams, someone put some thought into this. Someone wants this to be eye-catching. Birdie Wing Golf Girls Story Season 2! I'm excited to watch this. Pretty sure that my excitement is not warranted. The first half of Season 2 was absolute glorious, like everything I could possibly want. And then the second half was a bit more meh. And I'm a bit worried that it's just going to continue being more of a normal girls golfing show and less of the batshit stuff that was happening at the start. The first season just stopped. They didn't even finish the story arc they were in the middle of. They just stopped. They were like, alright, next time. Niehime to Kemono no O. We've got a world full of beast people for furries to enjoy. It specifically says it's the story of how this human girl became the queen, but doesn't say it's romance. I don't know what's going on with this. I would say I'm on the worried side. I'm not saying there's zero potential for me to enjoy this, but I would not try it if it wasn't for me just, watching everything. Megami no Cafe Terrace. Super not excited for this one. I mean, at least the poster doesn't scream ecchi, even if it is tagged that way. But we're gonna have a guy living in his childhood home, which is full of girls he doesn't know, which claim to be part of his family, and they're all working at a cafe, and some harem ecchi comedy shenanigans. Can't imagine getting excited over, but we'll watch it. I don't know, Orestria. Now, usually I don't watch music shows, because music shows are usually just, like, pop idol stuff where they're, like, selling the idols as characters, and that's the point. This one does seem to have a bit more of a dramatic bend. It's probably still not for me overall. I definitely wouldn't say I'm excited, but I guess I'm not dreading watching the episode. Isekai One Turn Kill Nei-san. Dohan no isekai seikatsu hajimemashita. I do know. So much dread. Why do they have to have isekai in the title twice? Look at this fucking poster. One guy, a bunch of girls, all their tits hanging out. It doesn't say ecchi tag, but it looks a lot more ecchi than that Megami Cafe one. I think I didn't actually watch. My mom followed me to the isekai and is overpowered or whatever the fuck that was. But this just seems like the older sister variety of that, and I'm scared. Tensei Kisoku no Isekai Boken Roku Jisho o Shiranai Kamigami no Shito. This also looks terrible. The description is fully standard. I'm isekai'd into an aristocratic family, and I am OP. It's talking about romance and studying, and he looks like he's like 7 years old. So I haven't really watched Pokemon since I was in middle school. I've heard that the more recent season where they changed up the animation and people got mad at the animation, but I've heard that actually was a much more enjoyable season. I guess if they're literally starting a new one with a new main character, I should watch it. I don't think I'm in for the long haul. But yeah, I guess I ought to at least watch the first episode. Mahou Shoujo Magical Destroyers. What am I supposed to do with this? There's a lot of energy in this poster. It's a fun title. It's an original source, so I know actually nothing about it. It doesn't look like they're going for, like, sex appeal in their designs. A little bit scared, a little bit excited. That's where I fall, I think. Shisho shiranai tenkou sei ga gui gui kuru. Normally I would be surprised that it doesn't have a romance tag because it looks like a high school rom-com, but the art style does say, like, we are more comedy-based, which basically means this is just going to decide on whether or not the comedy works for me. I'm always, like, not super excited to go into anything high school-based, which is, 90% of all anime. Just because there's so much of it. Not that it's always bad that a show is in high school, but it just... You're giving me nothing to get excited about, right? The marginal service, source original, no information, no tags, a poster of mostly a bunch of guys. I would have said that it was construction outfits, except the green cross says, like, medical care, but we can't use the red cross because that's actually, like, a trademark. Okay. Not high school. Good. Bold poster. Okay. Fucking one girl and she's wearing pink. Less good. Is that a fucking mascot flying squirrel? I definitely don't know enough to be excited. I guess I'm not absolutely dreading it. I'm mildly annoyed. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Mildly annoyed. Tokyo Mew Mew New Season 2. I dropped Season 1. Kaminaki Sekai no Kamisama Katsudo. What in the fuck did I just read? The first time I recorded this, I, read all the descriptions, and I decided that was way too much, and people can just go read shit on their own if they want. But fuck it, I'm reading this one. Yukito's parents are the leaders of a cult. After he gets sacrificed, he's reincarnated into another world where religion doesn't exist, and porn books are akin to a child's doodles? I don't even know what that sentence means. He finds that it's also a world where your life and death is decided by the country. Hate to tell you that, everyone. That's every country and every life. While obstructing his friend's execution They both lose their lives, so he has now died twice in this description. Just at that moment, the god of his religion, the cult that he was sacrificed to, comes to their world and revives them. Is this the story of a guy who was sacrificed to a cult, and then it turns out the cult was, like, right, because, like, their god is real, and then the god comes and revives him, and then he's gonna, like, start the cult in a new world? What the fuck is this? Oh, this is a hard dread with a side of this might be the funniest stuff on accident possible. This wasn't on the list when I first did this, so I'm really glad I recorded it a second time. Kawaisugi Crisis. Oh, yes. I remember this. Kawaisugi Crisis. I suppose I'm obligated to be excited for it. As far as I'm aware, this is a sci-fi comedy about an alien who came to destroy the Earth and then didn't because cats. And I mean, who can relate? Woo! The Idolmaster Cinderella girls, under 149. The under 149 apparently relates to their height. So not only is it an idol show, which I already wouldn't watch, but the concept is they're all really short, which Japan already has a kind of, like, yikes relationship to, like, the lolly concept, and pretty sure if your idol group is centered around the girls being short, that you are appealing to lolicons. World Dai Star also looks like some idol stuff, so I'm not gonna watch that. Rokuto no Onatachi, I'm pretty unexcited by this one. The poster, it's good that they have a different art style than the standard, but it's also not an art style that appeals to me. And it seems like the plot conceit is about a guy with an artifact that makes bad girls all fall in love with him, which is just a bit concerning of a plot for me. Opus Colors. Anichart has given us no information about this show. We seem to be in a world where women don't exist, as we are often in anime. I mean, it's colorful, it's got lots of boys. I don't know what it's about, so that limits how excited I can be. Alice Gear Aegis expansion. I'm not familiar with the video game. It says mecha. It's got some girls. I can't say I'm excited. Again, I don't know enough, but I would say I'm not specifically dreading watching it. Mixed Meisei Story second season, Nidome no Natsu. Sora no Mukou e. I didn't see the first season. Toso Chu, Great Mission. Anichart has once again not blessed me with any valuable information. But this poster, I don't know about this. Why is Godzilla here? This bit looks very, like, cheap CG. Anyway, this poster looks highly sus to me, so I would say I'm not very excited. Guma-chan Season 2, I didn't watch Season 1. I don't really watch things like this that look like they're more for children. Moving on down to the OVA ONA special section, we have the hilarity that is Shingeki no Kyojin, the final season, Kankatsu-hen, Part 1. The first half of the last part of the final season of Attack on Titan. I watched the first season, and then I didn't want to watch the second season while it was coming out, because I thought it was better as binge watch, which is how I watched the first season. And now I just wonder if it's ever going to actually finish, and if I'm ever actually going to come back to it. A new Uma Musume anime. I didn't watch the first one, and I don't think I'm going to watch this one. We're not even going to talk about the things where it's just like one episode that's coming packaged as part of a DVD set or whatever. Just things that are actually airing. Ensemble Stars Suioku Selection Element not only looks like an idol show, but it looks like a pretty bad looking one. Yay! Kuromi has an anime out? Wild. I'm not watching that. Wonderful! So not much in the OVA ONA special section this time around. I would say the things I'm most excited for are this top 3 right here, and Golf Girl Stories Season 2 as well. There's always at least one show where I think it looks terrible and it actually ends up being one of my favorite of the season. So place your bets now. See you next time. Bye-bye!